Hello, everyone. This time we are going to talk about unit conversion. As you remember, last time we were talking about measurements and last time we talked about measurements, and if you remember, we introduced some units for them. For example, for mass, we said it's kilograms. For time, we said it's second. For length, we talked about meter. And for temperature, we talked about Kelvin. So clearly we know that there are some subunits of them. So for example, kilogram can be related to grams. Second can be converted to hour, day, year, month. Length could be kilometers, could be centimeter, could be miles. Temperature, in addition to Kelvin, we could have degrees Celsius or centigrade. In the US, we use Fahrenheit, for example. These are different units. So the idea we have here is that understanding how these units are related to each other. You either know them, such as, for example, 100 centimeter, you know it's equivalent to 1 meter. This is something you know. There are some units that they will be provided. For example, you don't necessarily need to know that 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimeter. So as I said, you either know them or they are provided for you. The knowledge you have about this concept or this concept are the tools that you have in your toolbox. You know, someone can teach you what is the application of this tool, but when it comes to the time, it's up to carpenter to either use the saw or screwdriver or hammer, depending on what they want to do, right? So the challenge for you here is to know what piece of information is needed in a given situation. So I want you to think about it from that point of view. What we provide in chemistry classes for you are the tools that you need to know them and put them in your toolbox. You have to be equipped. But in addition to be equipped, not everyone who has hammer and saw and screwdriver has the skills of carpenter. Those skills are things which are generated by practice. And the practices are translated into your problem-solving skills. So we have good carpenters, we have someone who is a bad carpenter, and we have someone who is not carpenter at all and knows nothing about it. So clearly you will be equipped with these tools. And based on the guidance that you are reaching from your instructors, you will learn how to use those tools. But when it comes to problem solving, it's up to you and the amount of practice you put to make you a skilled problem solver or someone who's not great problem solver or someone who can't solve a problem. So that's really up to you. We can only provide you with the tools. Now, here are some examples that I want to give you. When it comes to unit conversion, you are basically going from one criteria to another space, for example. The idea is that, let me give you an example and make this more clear. Let's say I have an object which is 2.56 meters, And I want to know how many centimeters in this. So this is my known. Centimeter is my unknown. So I need a tool which is going to take me from this meter to the centimeter by using this tool. Okay. What I want to remind you is that in your math classes, you all know that if you take anything and multiply it by 1, you will still get the same thing. Okay. Now I want you to think about it. When I say 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter, I can definitely say 1 meter over 100 centimeter. When I divide the same things over each other, it's actually almost 1 that we were talking about here. Alternatively, I can say 100 centimeter over 1 meter is also 1. Agreed? So we agreed that you can either write 1 meter over 100 centimeter, or you can write 100 centimeter over 1 meter. They're both equivalent to 1. And we also agreed that you can multiply 1 to anything and get the same thing. Now I want to get rid of meters and convert it to centimeter. I can multiply that 2.56 meters to either this or this. But since I want to get rid of meters, I will choose a fraction where it has meter in its fraction denominator. So what I'm going to use as a tool here is this information by saying that I'm multiplying it to 1, and the 1 that I'm using is in this form. I say 100 centimeter over 1 meter. And I know it because I have learned that my denominator should be meter, so I can get rid of these two. And my numerator should be centimeter because this is what I'm interested in. So if I do this, then I will say the answer is 2,560 centimeter. No, 256 centimeter, right? So if I multiply it by 100, I have 256 centimeters. So basically what I did, I just multiplied it to 100 centimeter. Another example, let's say I have an object which weighs 56.9 grams, and I want to convert it to kilograms. Again, what I have in my toolbox is that 1,000 grams is equivalent to 1 kilogram. When I know this, then I can create two fractions, which both of them are 1. I can either say 1,000 grams over 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1, or I can say 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams is equivalent to 1. In this particular case, I am interested in getting rid of grams and convert it to kilogram. So again, I'll choose something where I have grams in denominator because I want to get rid of that. So I will use this fraction, 1,000 grams in denominator, 1 kilogram in the numerator. And when I do my math, I get the answer being 0.0569 kilograms. Okay. So this is the whole idea about unit conversion. Now I'll give you some more examples to work on those type of works that we are doing. So here I'm talking about some information about the units that we have. So what you need to do in your calculations and measurements, what you always do is always writing numbers along with their units. When you write 10, I don't know what you're talking about, but when you're talking about 10 grams, I know you are talking about mass of an object, right? If you say the mass of object is 10, I don't know whether it's 10 grams or 10 kilograms or 10 pounds or grams. But what you do in general, by providing the unit, I know exactly what you are talking about. When you are doing the calculations, you also follow with your units. So you keep an eye on your units when you are doing the mathematical operations. So the way that you are doing operations is the same as the numbers. So when you are adding two objects in terms of their units, you add those units as well. And when you are multiplying, you multiply them. In previous video clip, you noticed that when I was trying to get volume of an object with given dimensions, length, width, and height, I know that volume is length times width times height. The unit for this is meter. The unit for this is also meter. The unit for this is also meter. So I will carry the units with myself. And when I report my volume, it's going to be meters times meters times meters. So I'm going to talk about cubic meter. But when you are talking about the perimeter of an object, you have a length and width. So this is meter, this is meter. So we say L plus W plus L plus W. These are meters. So you are not multiplying them. And at the end, your perimeter will also have the unit of meter. Or if you divide them, you will get rid of the units actually. So this process is called dimensional